Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Friday, 6 June. A quiet, uneventful evening, or so it seemed. For most people, a repeat episode of The Chase was just familiar fun, a comforting rewatch, something to wind down the week. But this Friday's repeat became something no one expected. Shaun Wallace, known to millions as the Dark Destroyer, had faced thousands of contestants in his time. He'd crushed dreams, stolen victories, and commanded silence with a simple raised brow. But when ITV aired a repeat from 2 years ago, an episode Shaun had completely forgotten, something extraordinary happened. He clicked the episode link, mildly curious. It was an old one, sure, but something about it tugged at his memory. He poured himself another cup and sat down. He never imagined this repeat would turn into national news by the next morning. The episode featured a colourful team. Kathy, a drama teacher from Kent; Roger, a retired steelworker from Sheffield; Tasha, a medical student from Oxford; and Neil, a stand-up comic with a laugh like a car alarm. Roger, the steelworker, was unforgettable. 72 years old with a booming voice, thick Yorkshire accent, and no fear of authority, including Chesers. During his introduction, Roger had famously said, "I respect Shaun, but I reckon there's a softie behind that suit. Maybe even a teddy bear." The audience had roared. Even Bradley Walsh cracked up. Shaun, in the episode, had remained poker-faced, but now, watching from home, he smiled. "I remember this guy," he muttered. The match had been close, very close. Roger had scored £5,000 in the cash builder, and Shaun had underestimated him. He'd chased too aggressively. In the final chase, Roger had been the difference. Quick on the buzzer, firing answers with sniper-like accuracy, the team won £25,000. And then, in what became a rare viral moment in Chaser history, Roger approached Shaun as they shook hands and whispered something barely picked up by the mix. "Your brain's sharp, lad, but your heart, sharper still. Don't hide it." The studio had kept it light-hearted, the moment quickly moving on. But now, the internet caught it, thanks to eagle-eyed fans and subtitling. And this time it didn't go unnoticed. As the episode aired again, Twitter ignited. How did we miss this line the first time? Roger calling Shaun a man with heart, tears. We need Shaun Wallace, the soft side. Documentary. Now. Repeat or not, this ep just hit different tonight. Love for Roger, respect for Shaun. Shaun sipped his coffee, scrolling through the reactions, his stoic expression softening. He chuckled quietly. These people. But something made him pause. Among the tweets, a message from a verified account, at Tasha.no, the same Tasha from the episode. Watched tonight with my dad. Can't believe it's been 2 years since we filmed. Just remembered. Roger passed away a few months after this aired. He'd have loved to see the love. Hashtag that Chasa repeat. Shaun stared at the screen. Something inside him shifted. He didn't often contact contestants. But that night, Shaun reached out to ITV's production office. "Do we still have Roger's family contacts?" he asked. "Yes," came the reply. His daughter gave permission to stay in touch. Why? "I'd like to speak with them. Tonight, if possible." Within an hour, Shaun was on a video call with a woman in her late 30s, Rebecca Ward, Roger's daughter. She beamed the moment she saw him. "Shaun Wallace," she said warmly. Dad would have been thrilled. Shaun offered a rare smile. He already was. I never forgot that day. They talked for an hour about Roger's love for quiz shows, his time as a steelworker, how much that episode had meant to him. Rebecca shared something Shaun hadn't known. After that episode aired, she said, Dad got letters. Dozens. From people who said his comment to you gave them hope. That kindness mattered. That strong men could be gentle too. Shaun was silent for a long moment. I never knew that. Rebecca wiped her eyes. You changed people that night, by just being you, and by letting Dad see the man behind the questions. The next day, ITV ran a segment on Good Morning Britain about the repeat episode's resurgence. Clips of Roger's comments played, archival footage, tweets. And finally, a short live interview with Shaun. Well, said the host, Twitter's calling you Softy Shaun now. What do you think? Shaun smiled slightly. I think Roger saw something not even I was sure people would ever see. He paused. He was right. Intelligence isn't just knowledge. It's also empathy. Viewers around the country applauded him for his grace, his humility, and his rare emotional openness. Weeks later, Shaun travelled to Sheffield. ITV was filming a short documentary piece, Behind the Suit, Shaun Wallace's Journey. Part of the special included Shaun visiting Roger's old community centre, where a plaque now hung in his honour, commemorating his appearance on the chase. Shaun stood before it, eyes lingering on the engraving. Roger Ward. A man of steel and soul. Loved quizzes. Loved people more. Don't hide your heart. A crowd had gathered. Friends, family, and fans. Rebecca gave a speech. And then Shaun stepped up. I faced Olympic athletes, Oxford professors, and champions of all kinds, he said. But Roger Ward reminded me of something even harder than winning, letting people see the real you. He placed a single white rose beneath the plaque. Thank you, Roger. That autumn, Shaun helped launch the Roger Ward Scholarship Fund, providing free academic mentorship and quiz competitions for underprivileged kids. He volunteered monthly, sometimes showing up just to encourage the students. Trivia can open doors, he told them, but character keeps them open. In interviews, when asked what changed him, Shaun always credited an old repeat episode, and a man from Sheffield who saw through the armour. And every year on June 6th, ITV replayed the episode, now known among fans as the Roger episode. After the documentary aired, Shaun Wallace noticed a subtle shift in how people approached him in public. Gone was the fearsome reputation that once preceded him. Now, fans greeted him with stories, memories, and surprisingly, hugs. Children shyly asked him about Roger. Elderly couples told him they watched the repeat every June. He embraced it. ITV producers approached Shaun with a bold idea, a one-off special called The Chase, Heart of the Game, where contestants would not only play for money, but also for community causes. Shaun would host. At first, he hesitated. Hosting wasn't his usual role. But then he remembered Roger. If we're doing it for people like him, Shaun said, I'm in. The day of the special came, and the studio buzzed with energy. Contestants included a nurse from Birmingham raising money for a children's hospital, a librarian funding a mobile library van, and a teenage chess prodigy supporting mental health charities. Shaun, now on the other side of the podium, asked the questions with empathy and charm. Bradley watched from backstage, shaking his head in mock amazement. Who knew the Dark Destroyer could make people laugh? He joked. The final round ended with tears of joy as all the contestants pooled their winnings, a total of £52,000 for their causes. The crowd gave Shaun a standing ovation. For once, He wasn't just the quiz master. He was the heart of the show. That evening, after the special aired, Rebecca sent Shaun a package. Inside was a letter. It had been written by Roger shortly after filming The Chase, but never mailed. Dear Shaun, if you're reading this, it means you did more than answer questions. You inspired someone. I saw a good man that day, not just a quiz machine. Let them see that man. And when they do, they'll never forget him. Your friend, Roger. Shaun sat quietly for a long time, holding the paper in trembling hands. For the first time in years, he wept. Shaun didn't stop being the dark destroyer. He still faced contestants with fierce intelligence. But now there was a twinkle behind the glare, a sense of play, of humanity. When new players entered the studio nervously, they'd often whisper, "Don't go easy on me." Shaun would smile. "Don't worry, I'll destroy you." Politely. And then he'd wink. He began ending each show with a small tribute, just a single phrase. Stay sharp. Stay kind. It became his signature.